Good morning. In this demo I will show you how to update a JSON file that we get from the export process. Imagine that you only have one definition and one mapping file, and you use it all the time in order to import new bank formats, and you want to change just few values. So if we click on export, we get the document from definition and mapping. We can copy this data, this information, and paste it on an editor. But it's a bit difficult to find which field you want to change. So we can look in Google for a JSON validator because our file is written in the language JSON. So we can paste it here, click on Validate button, and now it's easier to find which field we want to change. In my case, I want to change the name because I have already a bank format definition with this name. I will add just a number. And if you remember, this field, the external ID, the bank format definition, has to be unique. So we will have to change it, and if not, and we import this file, we will get an error message on the email. So we can copy, paste, and change all the external IDs that we have. What I usually do is to add a letter, for example. So if we replace everything, because I have to remember that this external ID field is not only on the definition header of the object, we will have also in the record type and in the field 1. So we have changed everything, and now we are ready to save it. Definition ABA version 2. Now we will do the same with the bank format mapping. We get the information, go to the JSON validator, paste it, validate, and we will see the information. In this case, this object hasn't got any external ID field, so the only thing that I'm going to change is the name. ABA bank format 2. Copy and paste it and save. Mapping ABA version 2. So now with these two bank files we can import them. From complete, and if we go to format definition, to mapping, sorry, we have our new ABA bank format 2 object. There is another thing that I would like to explain to you. This bank format mapping is related to a bank format definition, and is the one that we have already created in the system. Why? Because this field definition external ID is the external ID of the definition object. So In this case, we didn't change this value, so the import process thought that what we wanted was to create a new bank format mapping and link it to the bank format definition, which external ID is 10. If, for example, we want to create a new bank format definition, for example, the one that we got and we modified before, we have to import it and wait till it has been created. And now we have our bank format definition too. This is its external ID. So if we want to create the bank format mapping and this object has to be linked to this bank format definition, we will have to go to the file and change it. But we don't have to forget that also record types and field object has the external ID. But these fields, the information is different. For example, here in the record types, the external ID will be the ID of the mapping of the definition object, hash, and the external ID of the record type. And the last, the field external ID, will be the ID of the definition object, hash, the ID of the mapping record type, the definition record type object, hash, the definition field object. So we will have to change all external ID fields in order to have the link correctly. What I usually do is just to look for this one, replace with the A, because it's the same value that we have in the previous definition object, replace everything, and now look for all hash and replace this to hash and A. If we save if we save this document version 3, for example, and try to import, we will see now that we have a second ABA bank format, and in order to know if it's linked to the correct definition, here we can see that it's the mapping object. That's all, and if you have any doubt, please ask me. Bye bye.